Okay. So after exiting the castle, still in shock from your little meeting, little itty bitty, little small, little almost as small as you meeting.
Hey, at least I'm not the smallest anymore.
Well, you after getting your bracers, the rest of your party looks at you and asks about the meeting, to which you didn't really give many alluding details to. They seem they seem to not want to pry too much, and right now I think I said probably around 4 p.m. with still maybe 4 to 5 hours of daylight left. I'll say 4. The party, Lila then looks at you and asks if you'd now like to head to the training field and try to actually, learn some magic.
Nods, deciding that it's probably the best way to get your mind off of whatever the fuck that was.
Well, I mean, you know what it was.
Yeah, but like, it's hard to put it into fucking words.
You do that by speaking. Oh wait.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That was. Yeah. So, you nod, and they all decide to head over to the training field. While you walk, Lila looks at you and asks, "So how was the meet?" She looks at you and says, "So, how would you describe the people you met?" She seems curious.
God, was he fucking tall? Was he just like normal human size, or was he fucking tall?
He's tall. Not like freakishly tall. He's still a human.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. God. There was a fucking priest. Wasn't there a fucking lady?
I mean, you should have wrote it down. I don't know what to say.
God, there was so much going on. You know what? Fuck it. Chalk it up to Maroth was so in shock. She wasn't even.
Everyone's notes have seemed to gone progressively worse over time. And I can't tell if it's because people are getting lazy, or if it's because sessions are getting more interesting and people are just fucking forgetting. And I think it's probably the latter. You can't go back and write down notes after the session. That's not...
Yeah.
Happens during the session or not at all.
Maroth is a little bit at a loss for words of how to describe what happened.
Seemingly, you try to explain, but struggle and fail. Lila looks and kind of looks like she assumes you're just struggling to get the words out, and just kind of looks at you and smiles and says, "Just take your time, and if you can't figure out how to say it, you don't have to." She says, while patting you and pitying you, kinda.
Maroth just kinda shrugs and settles for stretching her hand up to emphasize that these just kinda emphasize they were fucking tall, they were powerful looking. What's more to say?
You attempted to use hand language to explain what had happened. It fails completely because there's no context for Lila to go off of, and she just kind of laughs nervously and says that she doesn't really know what you're saying, but she hopes that it was beneficial.
Maroth kinda huffs, nodding. It was.
Technically. Not beneficial to your mental health, but...
True.
Yeah, so you both continue walking, well, you all continue walking down the streets of Zarconia, and you eventually, after maybe 15 to 20 minutes of walking, you finally reach the training field. It's a very large field surrounded by a powerful-looking stone wall. So there's a gate to an entrance maintained by a guard. And what you can see inside is just your standard training field with a mix of like sand, grit, dirt, gravel. It's like your standard field, one could say, not grassy, dirt. As you approach, you can hear the sounds of swords clashing, people using magic, etc. You can tell there are obviously people inside who appear to be practicing their magic. As you continue to approach the training field, the guard tells you all to stop and to present your identification before entering the training field.
Would the adventure, the guild card suffice?
The guild card is the most common known form of identification. Okay. I feel like this was established in like every single session, but
yeah. Okay.
You got this, Birb. I believe in you.
I am. Oh God. Listen, sometimes I just.
No thanks.
Sometimes I just don't get the memo about the most important things. It's a recurring issue, okay? Don't fucking judge me.
I might.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Maroth, shows him her guild card.
Yeah. You pull out the guild card and show it to the man. He takes it out, looks at it, and then looks back at you, startled, and realizes, oh, you're the girl who killed the Leviathan, right?
Maroth nods.
He chuckles and says, it's nice to meet you. He says that your name is basically, just has spread around basically the entire city at this point.
Maroth has a bit of a little blush on her face from the thought of that.
He says it's an honor to meet someone as powerful as her, and says that he says he thinks that probably won't be long until you reach A rank.
That's a... Oof, damn. Maroth kinda looks a little shocked at that idea, but maybe it's possible.
Yeah. After checking everyone's identification, he opens the gates for you, enters the training grounds. He explains to you that if you have any questions regarding the training grounds, or more specifically, if you wish to hire someone to help train you, he points to the far end of the training room and says that's the administrative office where the administrator is, and he can set you up with such if you wish.
Okay.
You enter the training ground, and like you expected, there were a bunch of people, mages, warriors, and really every class of adventurer, working on their skills, practicing either on dummies, wooden masks, against each other, with mock battles, and etc. Yeah. Cody, Jade, and Rowan said that they're gonna head off to another part of the training field to practice, since they're all physical weapon users, and say that you and Lila can go ahead and find somewhere else to practice magic unimpeded, because you're both magic users.
Okay.
The other three break off to go find somewhere to practice, and you and Lila head to an open part of the training field, somewhere where you could launch spells and not, risk hitting someone. You eventually find a spot to, that's open enough, and, yeah. You then take out, the two magic books you have, which was the Mage's Guide to Water and the Mage's Guide to Dark. However, you notice that, in particular, your Mage's Guide to Water seems to have been swapped out with a different book titled
What?
everything you need to know about water magic, and there's a little note on it with Zarkon's emblem on it saying, just another little gift. Thought it could help you improve your magic.
Aww. How the fuck did he do that? That's scary. But aww.
Your reaction is a mix of thanks, but also how the fuck.
And also, God, I hope he didn't do anything else to my shit.
You check the contents and note that the everything you need to know about water magic book now also includes the super tier, the tier above greater.
Okay. Well, I have a bigger mana pool, I guess. That's gonna come in handy for learning higher tier spells.
Yep.
So what are some of these higher tier spells?
Well, greater and super are both higher tier. You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
Right.
You've already covered. You covered a lot of the basic spells. I think you got.
Yeah.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 of the 15, and you have 1 of the 10 greater water spells.
Yeah. And the tier above that is super tier.
Yes.
So I guess a little bit surprised that that he searched out the book. Maroth begins reading through, trying to see what's in there.
You flip the book open to the super tier section, and it gives you a brief introduction. It says super spells, the second highest tier of magic. Only the most advanced of mages, and the strongest of races can wield this magic. These spells are only meant to be used a few times per fight and use a lot of mana. The first section is the aquamarine section. Sorry, the water section. The water section can include. Note that there are 7 super tier spells in the ocean. In the water category. They read off as follows: Aquamarine, which is the water weapon, super tier. There's Greater Tidal Stream, Might of the Ocean, which you recall was the spell that Zarkon used in your fight. Master of the Seas, Vortex Crasher, Hurricane Bringer, and Geyser.
Oof. What is the description on Might of the Ocean?
The user shoots a massive wave of water from their palm that comes pouring out like a wave of magic.
Oof. Probably not a good idea to learn in this area, unless there is somehow enough room.
Not particularly here, no. At least for that specific.
Even then, yeah. Yeah. What about, hold on, let me... I'm assuming Geyser is, like, the super tier equivalent of a Blast Burn and the other one?
To an extent, yes.
Okay. Let's see, am I able to open up the spells document to get a look at them, or no?
You have to ask me to read them.
Okay. What were the other ones again?
Aquamarine, Greater Tidal Stream. Well, Aquamarine super tier. Might of the Ocean, Master of the Seas, Greater Tidal Stream, Vortex Crasher, Hurricane Bringer, and Geyser.
What about, God, no. Vortex Crasher?
Okay. Vortex Crasher. The user shoots a large stream of spiraling water resembling a vortex. It targets a person and will chase them until destroyed, makes contact, or has been casted for the duration. It reminds you of like a hypercharged version of Hydroflux.
Okay. How much does it cost?
700.
Okay. Yeah, I think aiming in a direction completely away from anyone, Maroth is gonna begin to try and figure out how to use that one, which I presume is gonna take quite a while longer
Yes.
than the others. You said 700?
Yes.
Okay, 1-1.
I'll just copy and paste.
Damn.
You point you with the book, with Lila looking over you. She also kind of asks how you managed to get your hands on the upgraded version of the magic book.
Kinda, uh, huffs and, she flips to the cover and points to the little note.
Like a little tiefling. You just do a little pouty and go little sigh, and then show Lila the note on the front cover. She reads briefly, looks at it, and she understands that this is a gift from the royal court. You then show her that you're gonna try to learn Vortex Crash, and Lila gives you the thumbs up, saying that she heard that the super tier spells take a really long time to learn. However, she said with your talent, it shouldn't take as long. You try casting it, and it ends up taking you 3 hours, we'll say.
Damn.
Yeah. Took Dread 4, but he was less experienced.
Ah.
So it takes you 3 hours until around 7, but you finally managed to activate Vortex Crasher. You cast the spell, and a large stream of spiraling, a massive vortex-like stream of water fires forward. With no target in mind, it just goes for the 10 seconds as it slams into a wall and, like, yeah.
I get the impression that, that quite a bit of the water just kind of splashed back onto Maroth, and now her hair is just kind of sticking to her face a little bit.
I mean, it's magical water, so it goes away after.
Oh, damn.
I see. In the magic fundamentals, it says that magical water and magical fire, etc., are not the same as normal. And they don't exist. That's why you can't drink water you create.
I see.
Okay, yeah. After casting finally managing to get it off and casting Vortex Crasher, it launches forward, slamming into a wall, slightly damaging it, despite its sturdiness.
Shit!
Everyone else, most of the people in the arena, especially those close who are, like, who could see you, look at you a bit surprised, seeing you just casting off a super tier spell. Lila looks at you and says that she's never really used super tier spells before. She didn't really know it would have that much force, and kind of just, like, pats you on the back, saying, "Good thing you didn't aim that. You aimed that in a faraway direction."
Maroth nods, very surprised at the strength of that.
As you was firing that shot, you do start hearing people murmur as that really drew a lot of attention to you, and they're starting to realize who you were. A lot of them, you hear them murmuring about you and, like, your accomplishment, and, like, how they're impressed how you're able to use super tier spells and such.
Ah, shit. Maroth has this once more little red look to her face.
Maroth trying to explore. Also, Maroth ends up getting, like, recognized by every single person in the entire nation of Zarkon.
Shit. Ah.
Yeah. You decide to essentially, yeah. After that, you note that it's, like, getting close to 7, and you're not sure how much longer Cody and the others are willing to wait. Not wait, but how much longer they want to train for, and besides, you don't have enough mana to throw any more super tier spells anyways.
Yeah. Maroth nods and decides maybe they should go check on them.
Mm-hmm. Deciding that it had been quite a while, you and Lila had to go check on the others. Head over to another side of the field with a few eyes still on you, and see Cody and Rowan training against some dummies, whilst Jade seems to be taking a break on the bleachers with a glass of water.
Hmm.
You approach them, and Lila asks how it's been going. They say that it's been going good. They haven't really had much an opportunity to train since they met Maroth. They said that it's been a good training session. Jade just kind of waves, saying that she's taking a short break. Cody then remarks that she's been sitting there for 30 minutes. Jade subsequently
Sometimes,
tells him to shut up.
sometimes it really be like that.
Mm-hmm. Rowan then remarks that he saw and heard your spell from when you cast it, even though he couldn't really see you since you were far away.
Mmm.
He tells you that it was very, very nice.
Maroth mutters out a somewhat bashful thank you.
With your hands together, moving a little like a little anime girl. You just little thankies.
No.
Little
No.
thankies. With a thank you, yeah. You thank them, and they say that, and then Lila asks how much longer they want to go for. I mean, looking at the sun and the time, Cody says that they could probably go for another hour until around 8.
Hmm. Maroth is there is one other thing I think she wanted to do, but I'm not sure if we really have the time for that. Uh, but Maroth did also kind of want to practice fighting on land because, you know, she can maneuver in the water pretty well,
Yeah, you
but
don't
she's
say.
not sure how she's not sure how good she can really fight against a equal opponent. At least on land.
Uh-huh.
So she actually kind of looks over at Jade, who has been taking that 30-minute break, and she
That you also probably do.
listen. Sometimes it just really be like that. At
Uh-huh,
least
uh-huh.
all. And she sits down next to her, and she is like trying to get the words out, and it's along the lines of, I know we are going to be leaving soon, but sometime could you teach me how to fight on land?
Jade looks at you intrigued, and she kind of says, "Oh, I mean, we still have an hour. I don't know. I mean, an hour is a long amount of time, but..." She looks at
I have
you.
ADHD. Yeah, I have time blindness. Don't pin this on me, Connor.
I think I will.
Damn it. Anyway, Maroth
Yeah,
nods.
so with Mirath's time blindness kicking... Jade, yeah, Jade looks, yeah, but you know, Jade kind of confused, you know, why you think an hour, you know, for sure. Jade says that, yeah, sure, she can help you learn how to better fight on land. She asks you if there's any particular reason why you wanted to do so.
Uh, never fought on land, really. only in the water.
She understands, saying that she thinks you already fight well enough on land, but she might be able to help you get more used to it.
Maroth nods, setting down the book a little bit enthusiastically that she's gonna be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You put your books down. Well, I guess you just also hand them to Lila.
True.
You hand the books to Lila, and you and Jade find another empty spot to practice. Jade pulls out her daggers, and you get your spear. She looks at you and asks if there's anything particular you wanted to work on, or if you think that they should just start with a mock battle so they can kind of gauge any issues.
Mock battle sounds better.
Mm-hmm. Jade nods and asks if you'd like to if you want to use skills or not, or just go with just physical weapons.
I think just physical.
Okay. Yeah, you tell her just physical, and she nods. She then readies herself, and you ready, and the mock battle begins. You recall that Jade's whole fighting style is very up in your facey, very get behind you and attack weak points. And as you guessed, she immediately starts rushing towards you in a fast pace. You note that she is really pretty damn fast, and yeah, even without any skills, she is gonna approach you. She's gonna probably reach you within maybe 4 to 5 seconds. Maybe, actually, no, 2 to 3 seconds.
Oh, shit. Maroth kind of, takes a moment to, back away. Or at least somewhat jump back to get out of her, She uses daggers, right? So her range is a lot shorter. Maroth, kind of takes a dodge back, and, thrusts the blunt end of her spear, trying to
What do you mean by
push her
blunt
back
end
to
of
some.
your spear?
I mean, isn't one end pointed and the other one the other one is just like, not a point?
You mean the part you hold the spear?
I don't. I'm trying to.
Do you not know what a spear looks like?
Yes, I know what a fucking spear looks like.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, if you were to flip the spear around, you'd then be holding it basically by the blade, and that is not a safe way to hold a spear. I think you're thinking about, like, a one-bladed weapon. One-bladed weapons have blunt ends and flat sides. That's the entire point of the spear, and why it's often considered one of the easiest weapons to use is because of the fact that it has an omnidirectional blade and a point, so you can just thrust and stab.
Oh my god. Not having a good think day.
I suppose some spears can have a flat side. Traditional ones wouldn't, but you can, I guess.
No, it's, Miro's gonna step back. Not step back, but jump back and, try to still keep the distance with the spear, since it's much longer.
Trying to take advantage of your range, the range advantage you have. You decide to back up. You manage to back up just in time to dodge Jade's first 2 spinning slashes, and ready your spear. She recognizes that she can't approach because of the spears in the way, and makes a move, dashing to the right, attempting to get around you.
Maroth is going to try to pivot on one foot to match where Jade is trying to get to their side.
Mm-hmm. You follow Jade's movements as she tries to circle around your left side. However, you know that she can run faster than you can turn, and she's holding tight close to you, so she doesn't have to run that much. And once she finds an opening where your spear isn't like facing her, and it's maybe off a bit to the right of her, she starts running in for attempting to get a slash in.
Maroth is going to try and block with, I guess, like trying to block more of where her. Oh God, I am not good with words today.
Pat, pat.
How is she trying to jab at me? Is it like
Your chest.
overhead or?
It's just a side slash into your chest.
I guess Maroth is gonna try and block her hand or wrist with the side of the spear.
You try to block her with the side of your spear, and as you kind of slash your spear towards her side she's coming into. However, she uses you slash her from your right into your left, from her perspective, and then from her she takes the knife in her dagger, I should say, in her left hand, and kind of manages to catch your spear on like the point where the spear is attached to the mast, I guess you could call it, the handle. She uses that to block the attack, then glides along the spear using that knife and gets closer. She goes in for a slash, and you have maybe like a second to react.
Maroth is going to try and get back again.
You attempt to back up, and thanks to the amount of time you spent on land, you do manage to get enough speed to make it just barely out of her range. However, her knife grazes your hair as it falls back.
Oh jeez.
You step back, readying your spear. However, it's clear that she isn't giving up on the assault and continues to approach you quickly with her knives ready. Daggers.
Okay. Maroth is going to try and throw off her own aim with the dagger and try and rush forward again, side of the spear still pointed at her, and try to push her back.
With the spear?
With both holding the spear in both hands and try to push her back with the side of the spear.
She lunges towards you again, slashing at you in rapid succession. Looking for an opening, you try to get around the knives, the slashes, and find an opening. You manage to wait for her to over-arc one of her slashes, and you sidestep to the right, dodging it, and attempt to push her back. Because of the position the ready position your spear is in, you manage to hit her firmly in the chest with the side of your spear, and it sends her, and recognizing the now disadvantaged situation, she quickly jumps backwards, repositioning herself for another attack.
Maroth is going to try to follow it up by rushing forward again and jabbing her spear.
Okay. Attempting to follow up, not wanting to understanding Jade's style and not wanting to give her a minute to, counter back. You charge towards her, intending to thrust your spear at her. She manages to dodge the first. However, you can tell that she's taking a very defensive position, and you could probably push a bit more if you tried.
Yeah, Maroth is going to reposition the spear a little bit to where she dodged and rush forward a second time.
Continuing to press your advantage, you push forward and continue to basically thrust your spear at her. Now, although you have her on the back, I'll have her backing up. You can't really struggle to land a hit because of your decreased speed, your unusualness to the speed to moving above land, as well as her extensive training in movement. However, with her recognize the situation, as you thrust once and aiming for her torso, and she manages to basically dodge the thrust by moving her waist to the side, rolls her body along the side of the spear, using her body essentially to push against the handle of the spear, which makes it where you can't really move it. And well, I guess you can move it, but you can't move you can't stab her. And she begins, and then with her body still pressed against your spear, the side of your spear, then rushes towards you with her knives, since she senses an opening.
Maroth is going to try and block again, moving the side of the spear to meet her strikes as best she can in the current position.
You attempt to move your spear, however, it's still pushed up against her body, and it's really difficult to move. You manage to get it away from her body and attempt to block. However, due to the nature of your weapons, you're not able to bring it close enough, and she manages to rushes towards you, and you try to block, but you can't, and she slashes towards you and stops just before her dagger reaches your neck. Recognizing your defeat, you basically just you put your hands up almost, and she steps back. Jade looks at you and tells you that it wasn't bad, considering that your whole kit is supposed to be fighting underwater. She says that for someone who is fighting above water with no skills and no magic, which is what she's mainly been working on, that you didn't do a bad job. Jade says if you noticed anything about a problem, it would definitely be just the slowness. She said that there are definitely if you had moved or were able to move faster when you were when you had the advantage, she said she might have not gone out of it completely unscathed. Jade looks at you and says that you're definitely she says there's no doubt in her mind that you're very strong, but she says that you're definitely geared more around to underwater combat. She looks at you and says that whilst it's not bad to train for if that situation isn't available, and which is why she says it is important to train when you're at your disadvantages so you understand how to fight like that. She says she says in her opinion it's better to, instead of doing that, to simply just only find fights or find a way to manipulate fights into being your advantage rather than just sticking out with the disadvantageous position.
Right.
The mock fight lasted about 5 minutes, and Jade then asks you if there's any other kind of practice you'd like to do to maybe get better.
Maroth answers another round with skills.
Okay. Yeah. So, Jade nods and says, okay. She says that sounds like a good idea. you both once again get into position to fight, and you both ready your weapons. Her with her daggers, you with your spear, and then the fight begins. Once again, Jade begins running towards you in a moving in a different pattern than before, likely because she obviously knows that if she attacks you in the same manner, you'll just, see it coming. She rushes towards you with her daggers, and looks like she's preparing to attack your right side.
Hmm. I think Maroth is going to try again to uh meet her, thrusting the spear, uh kind of, yeah, thrusting the spear in the uh same direction from where her hand is coming.
Attempting to thrust and intercept Jade's attack. Aim towards her, however, as your spear seems to approach her, she seems to not care. And just before your spear hits her, she like dashes to the left incredibly quickly, almost faster than you can even see, and then basically slashes, intending to attack your left side now.
Ooh. Maroth is going to, with the momentum she already has from her failed attack, try to dodge out of the way.
Using the momentum of the failed attack, you manage to essentially fall forward in a sense, like run forward, and the knives whiz past your left side. However, your back is now to Jade, and you imagine this is not a good position to be in.
Maroth is going to pivot on one foot again, readying her spear in a defensive position for an attack that she is anticipating.
Turning around, expecting by the time you turn around that Jade's probably already gonna be on your ass. You turn around, just readying your spear, and just as you she's already like in your face, and thanks to you manage to block her blades as they both collide with your spear. However, even though you manage to block her first attack, she continues forward. It's clear that her main strategy is to not stay within range of where your spear can hit, and always fight you at uncomfortable angles for you.
By the way, in regards to these sparring matches, was Maroth able to see if are there just certain limitations or boundaries that shouldn't be crossed, other than obviously don't actually hurt your opponent unless it's
Not
yeah,
particularly.
don't act.
Just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't what?
Don't seriously harm them, I guess. And it's clear that Jade is very much aiming for vital spots. And so if she actually manages to land one, she'll just stop before she actually hits you.
And would you say this spear is small or light enough for Maroth to wield it with one hand if she needed to?
With her strength, underwater, yes. On the ground, with difficulty.
Maroth is going to then, uh, keeping the spear as pointed towards Jade as she can. She is going to hold the spear with one hand and with her other hand, swipe forward with her relatively sharper, thicker claws.
Aiming at what exactly?
Probably at a, uh, probably at her, arm.
As the first slash comes in from Jade, you manage to block it with the spear, and as the second one comes in, you try to claw at your hand. Your claw and her dagger clash, and she backs away, recognizing that like it's probably not good to get close to those claws, recognizing that you probably have more control over it than she does over her blades. He backs up a bit, but not before immediately charging towards you once again, seemingly ready to slash at you once more. He very much likes not giving you any room to move.
Mirth is going to, think. Maroth is going to try to meet her again, spear pointed at her to give to at least like keep one side of her a little bit more, uh I guess, armed, and claw again at uh her hand.
As she rushes at you once again, you protect your right side with your spear, and once again try to meet her daggers. However, she expected this, and activates another one of her skills and disappears. The next thing you know, you feel the sound of someone rushing to the sound that thanks to your hearing, you hear the sound of a blade rushing towards you from behind you.
Maroth's going to turn and kind of swipe the dagger, not the dagger, oh my god, the spear, uh to try and give herself a little bit of room and try to get at Jade before she can hit. It's not exactly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine it's a very controlled, but it is the fastest she can, it's the fastest thing she can do to respond.
Yeah. You spin around, it's hoping to catch Jade before her dagger reaches you. And you spin around, attempting to catch her, dagger before her dagger catches your neck. And however, as you turn around and swing your spear around, you see her you turn around, you see her dagger approaching your neck. She's too close for you to block it effectively, and she ends up with her dagger against your neck once more. However, you note that you stopped your movements, but you know that your spear. You look up and notice your spear is also up against her neck as well. And to be honest, if she hadn't had caught you, you might accidentally continued going.
Damn.
Yeah. You stay there for a second, and then before Jade puts her daggers away, and says that she it's the first time in a while a duel she's had has ended in a draw.
Oof.
Jade says you look. So Jade tells you that you seem to be doing better on land, and your movements seem to be moving slightly faster. She says that if you just were to take on quests to fight things on land, beasts and whatnot, you'd probably slowly become more adept at such.
Mm. Okay. Mara beams a little bit at the compliment and at how she performed. Maroth says slightly louder than slightly louder than usual. Thank you, while uh putting her spear away.
Like the quiet anime girl that finally speaks up for the first time in 5 episodes. Maroth.
Dude, it's not like that, and you know it. Means.
Uh-huh. Sure. Anyway, yeah. You say thank you to Jade, and you both head back to the party. And it's probably been around 20 minutes. Go another 40 minutes before Cody and Rowan want to leave.
Hmm. Meredith is gonna look over at Jade and kind of whisper. Well, she's looking at Cody Rowan, and Meredith kind of looks like she wants a bit of the scoop, and
Uh-huh.
she kind of whispers, "Are they a thing?"
You like little teenager who wants the T spelled. You you tap on Jade's shoulder and you whisper into her, asking her if Cody and Rowan are, quote, your own words, a thing. So I think is the most middle schooler term I've ever heard. But yeah, Ishia.
It's accurate. It's accurate.
Yeah, it is. Jade then looks at you, surprised a bit by your question, and just kind of smiles and says, "You'll have to ask them," and then walks away. Well, I guess Shadow steps
Damn
away.
it. Damn it. Uh,
Meanwhile, Maroth, who doesn't have enough confidence to ask them in their...
I mean, I was thinking about it, and it would be rude to interrupt them in the middle of a fight. So she's asking Jade if she has
the
the
T.
scoop.
The, the,
The
the, the T, sis.
and as she would have said in her life as Carmen, does she have the tea? And is it piping hot?
hmm Jade refuses to disclose any information, and you're left there still not knowing anything.
Did Jade go back to her 30-minute break?
More or less.
I think Maroth is gonna sit down with her and watch Cody and Rowan spar just to see how they fight.
hmm
Because Jade was only one sort of, you know.
Yeah. You go and sit up with Jade to take part in her 30-minute break, and like two little divas trying to like watch the football people play. You watch Cody and Rowan spar, and you note that because they fight much more balanced compared to the very aggressive and pushy fighting style of Jade, they trading blows much more between weapons and seem to be equally balanced. Cody's got a long sword, whilst Rowan has a great sword, and so it's clear that Rowan needs to balance his attacks much more with his weight, not overextend too much, because if he misses, it's a free hit for Cody. Meanwhile, Cody's taking a much more balanced approach. You know that their fight looks much more traditional in what you expect from a sword fight. You assume that they're probably not using skills either, and they're just like practicing their sword training skills.
Mm.
You watch them fight for another, say, 15 minutes until eventually they get tired and decide to take a quick break. And then after their fight is done, they can come up to you and ask how your duel with Jade went.
Maroth just says it was good, and I learned a little about how good I not about how I
Yeah,
my capability,
I think
how
good is a
I'm
bit
able to fight on land. I don't mean good in like as in like indicative
as in
of
like good.
quality, just like how well she fights on land.
Yeah, that's better.
I think that's more accurate.
Yeah. They nod and tell them that if you ever want to try some more traditional sparring, just to let them know. They
Mirath,
explain to you that Jade can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. Jade then snaps back, telling them that it's just how she fights.
Mirath is kind of like, well, it's true.
She just looks at you and says, "What? And after I helped you spar? Can't believe this. This betrayal."
Betrayal. Mirath is Mirath was unfazed by her quote unquote betrayal.
You just stare at her blankly, like a raccoon when it gets caught. like a little trash dog. You just kind of stare at
Dog!
it.
Trash dog! I mean, I guess it's if she had never met the group, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point she was just raccooning through some poor Zirconian citizens trash.
Absolutely. Maroth just eating someone's trash. Like, look, I can explain. They start running. Anyways, yeah. Afterwards, they say that they they figure that Cody and Rowan figure that they're already pretty tired, so I think that now would be a good time to head back to the inn and probably get some dinner.
Hmm.
This is the second day you've been here, right? Like the first day you arrived at night. Yesterday you arrived at night and then went to sleep. And this has been like the
Mhm.
first. Okay.
Yeah, this is the first full day.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. You all agree to figure you might as well head back to the inn since, everyone's pretty tired and hungry after, working out and practicing for so long. You not so much 'cause you spent most of it, magicking, but
Magicking. Yeah.
yeah, you all leave the training hall and I guess training field, I should say, and head back to the tavern on the east side in the residential area. What the fuck? Okay, got scammed.
Scammed?
Don't worry about it.
Uh.
Anyways. There we go. Anyways, yeah. You enter the tavern once again. Well, I guess inn, not tavern. Inn that you arrived at when you first got here. It's around 7:10, and you all figure that this would be a good time to get dinner.
Hmm.
You head over to the dining area, and you head over to the dining area, and you all purchase some dinner. The dinner costs 7 silver.
Okay.
While you're doing that, you order a simple dinner plate That's delicious. You got some steak and an assortment of other things, and once again, you kind of you sheepishly shove up all the vegetables on Lila's plate.
I think she necessarily. I think this time she just kind of copes with it.
Oh,
Just
okay.
doesn't touch them. Maybe like asks for a to-go box and someone else in the party can have the vegetables later.
Staring at the spawn of Satan vegetables, as you refer to them as, you you eat the meat and everything else there that you can actually eat. Then Lila kind of looks at you and smiles and says, says mockingly, you should always make sure to eat. You should eat your vegetables. They help you grow big and strong. She says, kind of mentioning your rather small stature.
Gives her this just wide-eyed, fishy look. Let me find a fucking example.
Look up Maroth is half the time Maroth would just feel like a no thought dog. Just no thought inside. Maroth has no thought, only white eye.
This picture is one of my inspirations, you could say. For Maroth
God.
sometimes kind of is, because I partially got the idea from Rivulet. How her eyes really be sometimes.
When Maroth is just secretly another Raywall
Big
reference.
fishy eyes.
I don't get what fishy eyes exactly means in this context, because Maroth's eyes aren't really fishy. They're just eyes. In fact, fish eyes look rather normal. I'm like, what is fishy eyes in this context? I mean,
Eyes of a fish.
okay, but how does that change the description of wide eyes?
It doesn't. They're just eyes that belong to a fish girl.
Why include the descriptor?
It's wrong, is it?
I mean, no. I mean, technically it is, because her eyes aren't fishy. Her eyes are fish eyes. So, fishy eyes implies they look fishy. Her eyes don't look fishy. They just are fishy.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. You look at her with this wide-eyed little gremlin, little no thought, little like doggo, catto stare. Like, not you couldn't believe how she just insulted you like that. The audacity. You trusted her and she backstabbed you like this.
It's not like that at all.
You will forever remember this day, and will exact your revenge.
She kind of gives that kind of look, and looks a little annoyed at the making fun of her height.
You making fun. You kind of look at her like, you bitch. And like, she smiles innocently, like, what? I'm right, aren't I? She says.
This is off Maroth in the fact that she ate a lot of vegetables when she was human, partially to help keep herself a little slimmer. And now
And
now she can't even eat them.
truly the ultimate tragedy. No veggie balls. Anyways, yeah. She teases you and says, I'm just joking. then takes the vegetables off your plate and eats them herself.
Mmm.
And feeling so yeah. Once you're done eating, she she finishes eating around 7:30, and Lila asks if there's anything else you'd like to do. Cody and Rowan said they're probably just gonna relax in their rooms because like they've been practicing for they haven't had a practice session in a while, and so they're pretty tired out because they haven't. Normally they said that they would like practice their swordsmanship like an hour a day, hour every other day, and make it consistent. But considering it's been so long, they kind of lost that routine a bit.
Maroth almost wants to give them a suspicious look, but she does not.
Do it.
No, not gonna.
Why not? You already asked.
It's uncalled for.
You wait for a better moment. Yeah. Jade says that she's not feeling that exhausted because she took a very nice, well-deserved, like, hour-long break.
Hell yeah.
Obviously.
Deserved.
Uh-huh. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Lila also says that because she spent most of the time, just basically all the time, just kind of watching you practice your magic. She was like, she basically said that she's fine with whatever. The Rowan and Cody decide that they're just gonna probably do some reading and then head off to sleep early because their muscles are killing them.
You are very, very muffled now. Are you like, it sounds like you're eating your mic, but you're also like 5 feet away from your mic.
I am neither of those things. I don't know what.
Damn. You sound a little better.
Might just be like the orientation of where my mic is, since my mic can move up and down.
I see.
Could be a possibility. Anyways, yeah. The two go up to their room, and now it's just you, Lila, and Cody. You, Lila, and yeah, you, Lila, and Jade.
Jade.
Left. Yeah.
Jade. Yeah. Maroth is kind of thinking, because she's not really sure what they can do in the city. I mean, they know more about the city than she does, but she looks at them for any sort of suggestion.
Looking at the other two for any ideas, Lila thinks about it and says that she isn't really sure where else to go that is open around this time. Jade surmises so either. Jade figures that, says that she might as well go to the Thieves Guild to pick up some other things. And she says so that, you and Lila can just hang for a bit if you want.
Yeah, I guess that's a good idea.
Yeah. Jade exits the building and heads over to the Thieves Guild. You're now just chilling at the dining table, I guess. Lila looks at you and says, well, since we're alone, I suppose I should, looks at you and asks, so since we're, since just us now, I'm meaning to ask, how have you been enjoying Zarconia so far?
Maroth thinks about it for a second, and, she says, it's been very eventful, but very good still.
Very, very good. Very good, sir.
So.
That's a reference to a Side Note and Happiness skit.
My God, the the telepathy restaurant.
Yeah, there's a few instances
Oh my
where
God.
there's a few instances on where the very good sir happens.
Oh my God.
Very
Yeah.
good. Funny stuff. Anyway, yeah. So, you tell Lila that you've been enjoying it, and she then looks at you and smiles, and she said that she's enjoying it as well. She says she's happy to finally have gone out of the village, even though it's still a bit sad to have had to go.
Maroth thinks for a second and it's like, where were some of the places you wanted to visit most in this journey?
Lila looks at you and kind of looks at you and chuckles nervously, saying that, to be honest, she doesn't really have much of an idea of where she wants to go. However, the experience she's had on Zarconia has definitely made her realize one thing at least, and that was she much more enjoys exploring the world. She says that in terms of particular places she wants to visit, she's not quite sure. She says her entire life has been really centered around Newell Village, and subsequently the Kingdom of Akron. She's never really been able to experience anything outside of that, and so she kind of is just like, she doesn't really know what to do other than what to do. She says that to her, honestly, going anywhere is fine, and that Zarkon is just one more of many. Zarkon is just one of many places that she hopes to visit.
Maroth seems a little bit surprised by the answer, but in a good way. Yeah.
In a goody way.
In a what?
In a goody way.
In a goody way. Yeah.
In a goody way. It's a goody way. Yes. This is a good way. This is a goody way. It's a good day. Anyways, yeah. Lila explains that, she hasn't really thought of anywhere in particular. She says, however, she would like to eventually either visit Althvinhaim or Castriel. She says that, because since she's only ever really been around humans, she says that she thinks it'd be a lot of fun to, actually, like, meet humanoids for the first time. And, like, elves.
Maroth. Oh.
No, you continue.
Yeah. Maroth nods, since while this doesn't really apply to her, in theory, she would have only known her own species. And I mean, technically humans were all she knew, but
Yeah.
Either way, it is also a new experience for her.
Yes. Indeed, it is. Yeah. So, Lila kind of just looks in and says that she only really's ever known humans. In fact, you were the first real non-human she's ever met before. Lila looks at you.
Maroth, Maroth kinda nods, saying that he's the first, kinda muttering that Lila and the group are the first humans that she's really talked to.
Lila nods and says that, and asks, if that's the case, how are your first impressions of humans then?
Maroth thinks for a second, realizing that there's I think the still human part of her is like, man, how does a human no longer human describe humans?
Ah, yes. Not confusing at all.
Exactly.
How
And
does...
she says that, they are friendlier than she had anticipated. Much
Mm-hmm.
friendlier.
Lila laughs and says that she's glad she feels that way. And I kinda asked you if you were expecting them to just, like, kill her on sight when they saw her.
Maroth kind of, freezes. Uh, to a degree, yes. She kind of nods. Uh,
Yeah. Lila then moves on kind of moves the conversation and kind of asks, she looks at you and asks, since you kind of asked her, she asked how you, if there's any place in particular that you'd like to visit.
let me just. Right, she did say that she wants to. Yeah, Maroth responds, saying that she wants to visit, the Humanoid Alliance, since it's undergoing some pretty big change now. Mm.
Yeah. Lila says that it sounds exciting. And she hopes that they could one day visit every single place in the world. Lila looks really happy, smiling, and saying that, she's glad that you, once again, telling you that she's glad she joined your party. Although she seems to, like, acknowledge the fact that she says that a lot. Lila smiles. She seems really happy. And, kinda thanks you for being the real jumping off point for their group to really to start traveling.
Maroth, nods a little, you're welcome. Just looking about equally as happy.
You look happy back at Lila, and you both smile and talk for a bit. Eventually around, we'll say 8:10, Jade returns home. She says she managed to get some information from the Thieves Guild, but at the prices they were selling, she said she didn't want to, put too much money into it, one could say.
Yeah.
So, once Jade returns, she's kind of just like, she kind of looks a bit tired as well, and tells you that, she's probably going to head out to bed as well. I guess less of bed, more of just like head up to her room to relax.
Right.
She asked you again then that there's any place in the in the morning that she's interested in visiting, if any.
God. I mean, what place is there that they haven't visited yet that, you know?
Probably the bazaar. Well, it's really busy. Yeah. So, yeah, Jade kind of asks you to think about it a bit more. If there's any real places you can think of, and to let them know. Because if not, the plan is going to wander around a bit tomorrow, and not spend much tomorrow doing much.
Yeah, Maroth nods, that sounds good, because she'll think about it, but currently she can't think of anything.
Yeah, even though today, yeah, you know to yourself that today's been a bit exhausting after that certain person. One could say.
Right,
Certain
right.
individual.
What? Why do you say it? Make it sound like you're saying person in like quotes.
I don't know.
You're like dehumanizing him.
Hey, it's pretty hot. You never know, he could be into that.
Yeah, but you don't know that he is.
I
I mean,
made
you
him.
do,
He's my
you
character.
do, you do,
He's my
you
character.
do. But like,
What?
you know,
I would know that.
I realized what I said.
Zarkon secretly
Oh
has a
my god.
dehumanization kink.
I mean, people in power tend to have some pretty out there interests.
One
So
could
you,
say.
one could say, indeed. But
Zarkon
yeah,
secretly
Maroth.
just gets topped by his like army commander.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
That'd be funny.
One could say.
One could say.
But yeah, it is getting a little bit later, so I guess Samarath decides that she'll kind of sleep on where they might want to go, where she might want to go in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, decided Jade, after that, Jade then heads off to essentially heads off to bed. Lila then asks if they're, while they're waiting, is there anything you'd like to talk about before she probably heads off to sleep as well. You can go ahead and do so.
I guess. Let me just look a second, please. Anything that I should ask? God, I can't really think of anything much other than the question. But you know, at this point, I think it would be disrespectful to keep dodging around asking them at this point.
You don't say. Yeah. Telling.
Maroth, Maroth shakes her head. There isn't really anything else that she can ask at this point.
There really isn't much else to ask. You kind of shake your head, saying there's really anything you're interested in, and yeah, you see, there's not really much you're interested in. Lila decides and figures that that's fair, and she gets up after putting her dinner plates away, and tells you that she's gonna head out and she'll see you tomorrow.
I think before they part ways to go to their respective rooms, Maroth's gonna give her a little bit of a hug before going the other direction to her own room. Yeah.
One could say huggy wuggies.
One.
Before she goes, before Lila goes off to bed, you decide to give her some huggy wuggies, and she appreciates it and hugs you back. After hugging for a bit, after hugging for a bit, you let go, and you both head to your respective rooms to get some sleep before the next day. You both, Lila returns to her room, and you return to yours. It's about 7:45 p.m. currently. You can either go to sleep early or do something.
I think since even though she has increased her mana pool quite a bit, she is going to meditate for maybe about 2 hours.
You gotta keep meditating. You can never stop meditating. You never meditate. You never.
That
Yeah.
who are you impersonating?
Yeah.
What are you impersonating? Wait, what the? Wait, what the?
What?
Hold on.
Yeah, but now what's going?
No,
Yeah.
every minute Jamal is an NPC is another 1% added to Althvinhaim.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah,
God, where did you put that?
like the start of the session.
Okay.
So he's
Uh,
like solid, like 120% gay right now.
uh, rookie numbers, really,
He's
but
real.
can we blame him? Can we blame him?
Yeah, he's a rookie at everything.
Uh, she is, although she's increased her mana pool, she now has access to much higher tier spells,
This
so it
is
would be
true.
good to increase her mana a bit so that way,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how long do you want to rest for? Well, I guess meditate for.
2 hours, I think, just a little bit of a
Yeah.
boost.
Meditate for 2 hours and raise your mana pool by 15. And yeah, it's now 9:45 p.m.
Okay. One. Okay, I think then at that point that is a good time to go sleep.
Deciding that now it's probably a good time to go off and do the EBDBs. You head out to bed. You go to, yeah, and you're still in your room. You decide that now is a pretty okay time to go to sleep. You go to sleep and wake up in the early morning. Yeah. So now that you wake up early, maybe around 9. I would say around 9 a.m. You get up, stretching, and you get up, stretch for a bit before getting ready for the day. You grab your stuff, grab your books, whatnot, and head out. No one's out, no one's up, no one's at the hallway, but you head downstairs to see Jade eating breakfast, and however the others, you assume, probably still asleep.
Maroth's gonna sit with her,
Yeah.
maybe you probably wait for everyone to get here before she eats.
Sitting down with Jade, who's already eating, she waves to you as you approach, and asks how you slept.
She says, really good, you know.
She nods and says, "That's good," while continuing to eat. And Jade then looks at you and says, "Yeah, have you thought about it and have any idea where you want to go today?" She says, "The only place we haven't really checked out is the large cathedral in the southern part of town, as well as the governmental district. That district isn't really that interesting," she says, "unless you're big into politics."
Yeah. Considering that this is not Lorraine, the cathedral might actually be something that they could go visit and look at without Maroth having to really worry about much. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maroth says, the cathedral.
But Jade nods and says, "Yeah, I was thinking about visiting it as well."
Maroth kind of follows it with, other than the fact that it's in such a big city, is there anything unique about it?
The cathedral?
Anything that is really tourist-worthy about it?
About the cathedral.
Yeah. Mm.
Jade explains to you that the cathedral, in terms of tourist attractiveness, not particularly. She says, however, it's an interesting cathedral. She said it's one of the few cathedrals that worships Daedalus directly. Jade explains that many of the whilst all humanoids worship Daedalus, there is no official religion for him, and people just kind of revere him as their god. However, she explains that the church in Zarkon is like an institutionalized facility to worship Daedalus. Although it isn't its own religion, she says that it's a very big cathedral from what she's heard, and it certainly has its own charms to it, unique from any of the other religions in the world. Well, I guess actually any other cathedrals in the world.
Maroth nods, because that does sound a little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jade says she's always been interested in visiting it as well. She says that she's interested in what a temple dedicated to Daedalus himself would look like. And she imagines that it must be very elaborate, because to build such a thing, you'd have to definitely put your best foot forward, or else it may not end well for you.
Yeah, that does sound a little bit scary.
Yeah. As you talk, Lila comes down the stairs, stretching, still a bit tired. She sees you two hanging around, and comes up and sits down as well. She asks what you two are talking about, and Jade explains that they were discussing about visiting the cathedral. Yawning again, Lila looks at you and asks if you had eaten any breakfast yet.
Maroth nods, shakes her head.
I was gonna say, like, pardon?
Yeah. I fumbled that one. She shakes her head.
Fumbling a lot, I think.
Yeah, I have been. I really have been.
Birb, no brain worky today.
No.
Anyways, yeah, you shake your head, and Lila asks if you'd like to order breakfast, or if you're just not hungry.
Maroth thinks for a second and kind of remembers just how, like, if she waits for too long, she does get pretty damn hungry pretty quickly. So she nods that might be a good time to do that now.
Mm-hmm. You order breakfast along with Lila, and a large plate comes out filled with food. You eat up everything that isn't a vegetable, and yeah, you feel.
Is it 7 silver again?
Huh? No, the breakfast.
Is it Oh, okay.
Accept this.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You eat the breakfast, and it fills you up maybe halfway. Meanwhile, Lila looks very stuffed with her breakfast, but you still feel unfilled.
Damn. Maybe she can eat her fucking veggies. Damn.
Yeah, I mean that did make up like 1/5 of the food on the plate, admittedly. Lila, seemingly now more able to recognize that you're still hungry, asks if you'd like another plate.
Maroth a little bit shy at the call out, but she nods that yeah, she's not quite full.
Yeah. Lila goes over to get you another plate and brings it back to you, but you also just scarf it down. Finally feeling full, you hand the rest of the vegetables over to Lila. And she eats them.
Uh,
I feel you, young. Oh. Yeah, after you're done eating. Yeah. After you're done eating, you kind of wait there, and after waiting for the 10 minutes, Cody and Rowan both come downstairs. You wave to them, and they wave back, sitting down and asking if everyone slept well. To which you're all like, yeah. They order some breakfast, and they eat up quickly. When they do so, Cody asks you if you know where you want to go today.
Maroth, says that Jade had suggested the cathedral.
Even though you asked for it. I could put it on Jane. I see. Jade. I see.
That's...
In case they don't like it, you wanna have a fail safe. Okay. Anyways. Anyway, yeah. You tell them that Jade wanted to go to the cathedral. Cody says that seems like a good idea. That he wanted to see it as well. And Rowan agrees, saying that he doesn't really have much of a better idea to do. After they both finish eating, they say they can head out whenever they want. And while they're doing so, Rowan asks you. Rowan then looks at you and says, "Today we'll probably be able to get through." After we finish the cathedral, he looks at you and asks if you think that they would like to go to a different place. He explains that although the city of Zarkonia, the capital of Zarkonia is large, it doesn't take that long to explore the major things. He looks at you and asks, and since you said you wanted to go to the Human Alliance, he asks if you'd be interested in either going there, or perhaps heading further down south, exploring Zarkon, and eventually heading over there.
Maroth will go with, maybe we should go there once we, the first suggestion.
You agree that you tell them that you would think it'd be interesting to, or you'd like to go soon, and after. And so Rowan thinks about it and says, okay, so we can explore the cathedral and do some other things today. And tomorrow, which is the 3 days we paid for at the inn. He explains that before that, we can plan to find a boat, prepare for the trip, and then leave that day, leave tomorrow, probably in the evening. And then, yeah, he says, so that seems like the plan for now.
Okay.
For now, yeah. You all agree that that's a good idea, and decide to, yeah. With that, you decide to head out to explore the cathedral. You, exiting the tavern, you all begin heading towards the cathedral. Cody asks if Jade had already explained to you what the cathedral was all about.
Maroth nods.
He says good. He says, yeah, he nods, and asks if there's anything you'd like to know about, anything else you'd like to know about the cathedral, because he says that he's probably done more research than Jade has on this kind of thing.
God, I mean, there isn't really much you can ask, but I guess she says what is something you think I should know about it?
He looks at you, slightly taken aback by the really weird question. It doesn't really do anything, but he he looks at you and says something you should know. He thinks about it and doesn't really know and answers because did not expect that as a question.
Damn. I mean, uh,
Mhm. As you yeah, as you both yeah, you all walk down the streets peacefully. As you approach it, as you cross through a few more streets out of the residential area, around the castle, you eventually finally come across the cathedral coming into existence. You look up at it, and so the cathedral starts coming into existence, coming into view, and you kind of appreciate its grandeur, even compared to like the temple you had a certain encounter with way back then. This one definitely stands as, if not more, impressive. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's very elaborate, lots of tinted glass, marble. A lot of the glass seems to be blue and dark blue. Yeah, it seems very, very tall. Not as tall as Zarkon's castle, however, it's still rather impressive and definitely stands out once, you're able to see it in view. You continue to walk towards the cathedral, and eventually you manage to reach the entrance. At the entrance of the cathedral, there is a lot of at the edge of the cathedral. There is a lot of priests doing mining business. You walk up. You and the party walk up to the front, and Rowan asks if they can go into the temple. And you enter the temple, and it's very, very grand and large. The size of the main area seems to be like roughly similar to the cathedral you were in, and however, the ceiling appears to be taller.
Ralph looks a little bit just awestruck at it all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The cathedral is massively impressive, many overhangings and chandeliers. The benches look polished wood, and there is a large stage at front, likely for this priest to do his sermon. Actually, what day would this be? Well, actually, they wouldn't have a holy day. Now that I think about it, the holy day wouldn't have a holy day. Okay, yeah. As you walk around, there's there seems to be like in a room to the side. Actually, as you enter, there is a receptionist on the right of the room, not in the main room, but like in a side room. Rowan goes up to her. It was a priestess, and asks her about.
About what?
Yeah, the priest goes up. He goes up to the priest and asks her about any sermons happening today. She tells you that there will be one happening at 10, and it's currently like 9:45, and so you can tell there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people, like already sitting at the bleachers, not bleachers, but benches. And Rowan looks back at you and says, "It's good luck." they have good timing and asks if you would like to see one of the sermons about Daedalus.
Hmm. Ralph nods as she doesn't know when she's gonna get an opportunity like this again, considering everything.
Mm-hmm. You nod, showing that you are interested in it, and Rowan smiles, and you all take a seat around the front area. You sit down. How long is this? It's queued it for an hour. Okay, well, I feel like Neurobot's a bit weird. It's canceling songs much earlier than it should
Oh.
be. Anyways, yeah. You sit down at the bench, and you kind of, as you sit down and wait and watch people continue to walk into the area, you notice that, the real grandeur of the front stage. It's clear that everything here is made to be, like Jade said, like, this place has gotta be, like, a pinnacle cathedral, or else it risks insulting Daedalus, and you imagine what kind of offense that could carry. Even though he has no official religion based around him, just the simple fact that every single humanoid reveres him would mean that he'd likely be ostracized from every society. You sit there and wait as the room fills in, as a bunch of people take their seats. Eventually, just as 10 hits, a powerful-looking priest steps out. He begins his sermon generally speaking, talking about Daedalus, more importantly, talking about, like, what he has done. He does your standard religious sermon, talking about what the world was like and what the world has become thanks to Daedalus. He reads out, like, what appear to sound like quotes from Daedalus, and tell everyone the story of how they came into existence thanks to him. The sermon talks a lot about Daedalus's creation of the humans, and how they must revere him because they are their true god. The sermon goes on for maybe around 2 hours, and 2 hours until noon, until the priest finally concludes with some closing remarks regarding Daedalus' infinite wisdom, and how they must all revere and worship him if they ever want to, become enlightened, one could say. You listen for a while. It's a bit boring at times, however, it's interesting how it almost feels like the priests here are even more devout to Daedalus than the priests in Lorraine were to Tia. And you imagine this is likely because of the difference between how powerful Daedalus is as one of the first 3 gods compared to the others. After the sermon ends around noon, the priest finishes and thanks everyone for their time and heads out, and basically walks off stage. Once he walks off stage, the crowd begins talking, and many people get up to start leaving. You and the others also stand up and begin walking while talking. As you walk towards the exit, Lila looks at you and asks if you thought it was interesting, or more like just what you thought about it.
Maroth thinks for a second. Maroth is just... She's certainly impressed. I mean, the grandeur is... It's there. Though, since she doesn't have as much of a frame of reference as to, she's only known about the gods themselves for, 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So it's hard to really, it's hard to really say much about it to begin with, but she does go, it was interesting and moving.
Lila agrees, saying that since she's also a human, she's also very much revered Daedalus, and seeing people talk about him and his great accomplishments, she says, almost fills her with a sense of pride, she says. She says that humans have always been the weakest race, and sometimes looked down upon even by other humanoids. She says, however, she believes that their connection to Daedalus gives them kind of something to be proud about, and something to be happy and strive forward for. As Lila continues to talk about it, you eventually exit the cathedral. Very much appreciating what you learned and almost getting like a new insight as to like the exact culture of not only Zarconia, but also the humans in general. You feel good after listening to the sermon. You exit the cathedral, and Rowan then looks at you and asks, since that's done, is there anything else you'd like to do? In particular, that you can think of in particular, Rowan asks.
I mean... Ooh. I mean, not quite. She certainly doesn't want to visit the fucking... what was it, the government wing? Or what was it?
Yeah.
She certainly doesn't want to visit that. That doesn't sound fun in the slightest, or very interesting. But she looks at them, wondering if there's something they want to do.
The others think about it for a while, and none of them can really come up with something. Jade says that since she had just visited the Thieves Guild yesterday, she doesn't have any interest in going back for now. Rowan and Cody say that they also can't think of much. Besides maybe going back to the training field and training a bit more, but their muscles are still, and like general body is still sore from 4 hours of basically swinging swords.
Right.
Yeah. Lila then thinks about it and looks at you and asks if you perhaps would like to try practicing some more magic.
Maroth nods. If there isn't really much else to do, that might be a good. That might be good.
You agree, and so you agree, and Cody says that Cody and Jade decide that they're gonna probably go to the Cody, Jade, and Rowan said that since they don't use magic, they said that they might as well head over to the Adventurers Guild and check if there's anything interesting going on. They said they'll go there, probably pick up a simple quest or two to take on, just to make them a bit more money that they've been spending recently.
Right.
You both agree on this. You all agree on this, and you head over to the trading field with Lila to check out more magic, whilst the other three head over to the Adventurers Guild. As you walk with Lila, Lila asks, looks at you and asks if you have really any plans besides, traveling and being an adventurer.
Maroth thinks about it for a second before responding that she wants to experience a life that is vastly different than if she had stayed all the way in Lorraine, in that in that pond. Lake.
Yeah. Lila nods and says, I suppose that's fair. I guess that makes us quite similar, huh, she says, while smiling.
Maroth nods.
You continue to walk, and she kind of says, she says, I get how you feel. Whilst I've never been unhappy with where I lived, obviously, there was always a part of me that wanted to see beyond where my village was. Small rural village, not much to do there. That's why I knew everyone basically by name, she says. She says that she looks at you and then smiles and says that she hopes that they can fulfill each other's goals together.
Oh. Maroth nods a little bit more encouraged and a lot more just swell feeling.
Maroth acting like a dog, and Mila's like her favorite of the family. That family owner.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Eventually you reach the training field, show the guard your ID, and enter once again. You enter the training field and are ready to learn some more magic. Your mana pool since yesterday has refilled.
Let's see. I guess learning one more super spell that is different from that is like a little much more different from Vortex Crasher would be a good idea. For if it's ever really needed.
The list of spells is from the water super spells. The Northern Vortex Crasher, of course, is the Aquamarine super tier, Greater Tidal Stream, Might of the Ocean, Master of the Seas, Hurricane Bringer, and Geyser.
What's Hurricane Bringer?
What is this grammar? Why is my oh, okay. The user summons a small hurricane in the sky that brings down bolts of water that strike anyone the user deems as an enemy.
Ooh. He's gonna gonna put that in the later category.
Yeah, you wanna try summoning a hurricane over the training field?
Yeah, let's meet up. And Aquamarine super tier.
You decided to look at the elemental weapon for water, Aquamarine Super, which you actually haven't learned yet.
Yeah.
The user creates a long sword made of the essence of the ocean that the user can wield. Whilst being held, the user's body becomes coated with water, allowing for them to move like the sea alongside their sword. Aquamarine also possesses the ability Crestwater Slash. When activated, the user focuses on one target, locating where they are weakest. Then the user uses the power of water to blitz towards the foe, striking directly at their weak spot with incredible speed. Can only be used 3 times in the duration of the spell. The actual spell itself costs 800 mana, and the Crestwater Slash costs 200 each.
Maroth points at this one and kind of asks Lila if maybe it would be best to learn this one somewhere else, because it's one, after yesterday, the amount of eyes that were on her, but also it also seems just as possibly destructive as a Vortex Crasher.
Which one?
Aquamarine super tier. I guess that's fair. But still, the eyes.
No, that's fair, but it's literally a sword. Like, you're using a sword. I don't. It's not like you can't control it.
I. Hmm.
You
I
can,
guess
of
that's
course, if
fair.
you want to avoid the eyes, but the destructive thing I don't really get. You have a sword, it
Okay.
allows you to move fast. If you don't know how to, the main benefit of it is if you know how to use a sword. Crestwater Slash
Yeah.
also applies to a target, and so as long as you don't, you know, target an innocent bystander, you should be fine. At least I'd hope you
Okay.
wouldn't
Yeah.
target an innocent bystander.
No. No.
Knowing Maroth, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, after that meeting with Sarkhan, no. Yeah, I think that's put it into the realm of mostly impossibility.
Uh-huh.
I guess so. I guess the eyes. I guess onlookers wouldn't be the biggest deal, so I guess Maroth does try to learn that one.
You focus on learning Aquamarine and end up spending another 3 hours attempting to learn it. After 3 hours, with help from Lila, you eventually manage to activate cast the super tier water spell Aquamarine. Once activated, a big long sword made of pure ocean appears in your hands. And although it's rather long, it's a long sword. It's almost like 3/4 of your length. It's actually incredibly light, and you barely feel any weight with it at all.
Maroth kind of pokes at the side of the water blade, a little bit intrigued. It just looks pretty, but probably.
That is the saddest reason I've heard to touch it, but that like a fish to gold. You just start poking the sword like you're a child. I mean, you are, but um, yeah, kind of. Lila looks you confused and asks what the fuck you're doing.
She like repeatedly taps it. She just kind of pokes it once,
Okay,
since
yeah,
that's a pretty
like a little gremlin child
it's
when they're given their first toy. You just start poking
she's
at it.
never really. I mean, it's just something she's. I don't know. I don't know.
I think you just want Maroth to be a little baby,
Oh,
baby.
no, it felt in character, but
Yeah, no, I
now I
think it
just feel.
is. But Maroth's
Now
character
I
is like a
feel.
little baby.
I know. Now I just feel ashamed. Also, can you add that to the
Yeah,
thing, please? Thank you.
it's who you are, deep down inside. It's okay, Birb. Maroth is the inner you, the inner gremlin child that just wants to not talk and do funny anime motions whenever someone says something to you. You know I'm right.
To a degree, I suppose. Ah.
Anyways, yeah, Lila looks at you and kind of asks what the fuck you're doing.
Maratha just kind of shrugs, not really sure herself. Just that it's a very new experience, and I guess this is the only way she could possibly fucking react.
Uh-huh. I'm sure. Anyways, yeah, you now have Aquamarine in your hand. You swing it around and it really does feel like you're just carrying water, which is, you know, with this size, not that heavy.
Mm.
You slash it around some more, and yeah. Yeah, you note that every single time you slash, and it doesn't hit something, it releases a blade of water, which seems pretty useful.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though you're not quite good at using a longsword, the fact that it's weightless definitely proves that it could be a very effective weapon.
Mm.
Anything else I could try to do with the Aquamarine?
I don't think so. I mean, there isn't much. I have a feeling that if she tried on one of the training dummies, it might, unless the training dummies themselves have any sort of magical
They
properties,
do not. They
they might.
definitely don't.
Yeah, no, they'd be fucking eviscerated,
They
and
would
Maroth
be.
does not want to be responsible for more property damage.
Come on. Oh no, destroying the training dummies isn't property damage.
Oh, that's fair. They're kind of made for that.
It's kind of their job
Okay,
to get beat up. It's not gonna turn to mad dummy, don't worry.
Or will it?
Now Birb is just is just always scared that mad dummy's gonna appear somewhere in lore. Like, you killed all my
What?
That you're gonna have Free Forever is terrified and lore that mad dummy's just gonna appear, like, you killed all my friends.
Well, not if I don't attack the training dummies.
True. But you just massacre them all, obviously, as one does. Just, commit a crime, casually. Anyways, yeah, you swing around, you practice with Aquamarine for the time that it lasts, which is around 7 minutes, until eventually it dissipates. It seemed to be very powerful, with its cuts easily cutting through, feeling like it's cut through air just fine. It would definitely be a weapon that you could use and summon in a pinch that could definitely just get rid of the enemy quickly.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah, so Aquamarine ends, and yeah, note how powerful it is. With still some mana left, you could try to learn maybe some greater or basic spells if you felt like it.
I suppose. Okay, what are some of the ones? Let me just take a look. Some of the. I think I'll save the. Actually, what was Hand of the Void again?
Let me check. The user releases multiple dark tentacles from their palm. The tentacles in each target one person or the same and will try to pierce them. Using, yeah.
It's 170.
Yes. It'd be funny if I changed pierce to penetrate.
You certainly could, if you really wanted. Merrick is, hoping not too many people are looking, because, again, she knows dark magic is, like, nearly, as far as she knows, dark magic is, like, non-existent if you're not a fucking moon elf.
Yeah.
She, casts it. Or at least, tries to, learn it.
Yeah. Feeling the power of dark as you read the book, you take about 30 minutes, and eventually you manage to cast the spell Hand of the Void. A bunch of dark tentacles come out from your hand, and just, like, extend towards a dummy, we'll say, surrounding it and tearing it to pieces.
Wow, okay. Despite reading the description, Maroth looks a little surprised, not expecting it to have been torn apart that quickly.
Yeah, you're now. I know that's a decent mana pool left. Maybe enough for you have like enough for one more greater spell if you want.
Aqua Assassin. What was that one again?
Aqua Assassin is the user enters a brief state of liquidation, making their body move like water. In this state, the user slashes the sky, releasing up to 3 X slashes towards where they're aiming. Once all 3 slashes are released, or the duration has passed, the user will exit the liquidation form.
Hmm. Yeah, that's. I think she'll try to learn that one lastly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one 170 or
190.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You attempt to learn Aqua Assassin, and as you're trying to learn it, suddenly you feel like this something on like your hip starts to feel warm, like there's someone suddenly put like a hand warmer on your hip. It interrupts you trying to learn the spell.
Oh.
Because your hip is now.
Oh no, yeah. Maroth kind of looks down a little bit, startled.
You look down and see that the talisman that Zarkon had given you is now glowing.
Oh, so it's 2 ways. I see. Maroth picks it up, realizing it's a 2-way system, which in hindsight does make a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at Lila and almost like, in the most casual tone, she's like, she's holding up the talisman like, I gotta go take this. I'll be back.
Take this.
I'll be
Did you
back.
just say, I gotta go? You look at the Lila holding up the talisman, saying that you gotta go take this.
I gotta go take this call.
Most goofy little gremlin fishy way possible. You look at Lila and tell her you gotta go take this before heading out to the castle. She seems to understand at the very least, and is just gonna wait there. You begin moving quickly through the city, approaching the large castle, Yeah, you're approaching the large castle. You enter the castle, and once again, there's a different maid stationed here this time.
Mira kind of holds up the talisman as assuming that that's probably the best way she can, as in order to say, hey, your boss wants to see me.
You hold up the talisman to show the person, to show the maid. She recognizes it and tells you right this way. You enter the main door and basically retracing the steps you took last time. You head into the main hall and head up the stairs. This time, once again, you enter the throne room. Once again, this time not as scared as you were last time. Yeah, you enter the throne room, and this time only Zarkon is there. No one else. The maid closes the door behind you, and Zarkon motions for you to come forward.
Maroth, does.
Once you reach the steps to the throne, he, stands up and walks towards you. He motions for you without saying a word. He motions for you to follow him to a side room.
Okay.
You follow him,
Maroth,
yeah, and enter the
yeah.
next room, and it's an office. Appears to be his office, personal study. He sits down at the desk and motions for you to take a seat on the other side of the desk.
Maroth, sits down.
Uh-huh. He then
Wondering why he's not really saying
yeah.
anything.
He then goes through a few papers, making you wait in silence for a few minutes before looking up at you and asks, "So I heard you're leaving for the Humanoid Alliance soon."
Maroth, nods.
Mm-hmm.
And then takes a moment to be like, wait, how did he fucking know?
Recognizing your surprise, he just looks at you and smiles and says, "I'm the emperor of this place. I got eyes and ears everywhere." He says.
Maroth kind of sighs, just thinking, of fucking course he does.
He smiles and says that he asks if you're going there because of the recent developments regarding the government.
Maroth, nods.
Yeah. Zarkon says he too considered it definitely considered it a very important point and something that couldn't be ignored. After all, the downfall of lies is the first major thing that's happened since the start of the peaceful age. He explains to you that he's not going to inquire to your reasons as to going there. Obviously, he says your life is yours to live. However, he says, "First, can you show me your talisman?"
Maroth hands it to him.
You hand it to him, and he says, "I didn't think I'd have to install this upgrade yet, as I didn't think you'd be leaving so soon, but since you are, I figure I might as well." He then pours an extreme amount of mana into the talisman, working on it, and he hands it back to you. He says that he added a new feature, which will allow you to send, will essentially allow you to text him in the simplest way. He says that using the talisman, if you click on the center, he points to a rune in the center of the talisman, it'll open up, it'll basically, open up in the best way that you can describe a keypad in your mind, one could say. There, he explains all you need to do is think of the message you want to send, it'll appear in your head, and you can send it to him. He asks that while you're in the Humanoid Alliance, to send him information regarding the new government, what it's like, and if you think that it has any issues.
Meryl think that she unintentionally signed up to be a bit of a errand girl, but you know what? That's all right.
He then tells you that because you're going into a place that literally just a few days ago used to be one of the most hostile and horrible places in the world. He tells you that if you do ever need help, to just send a message via the talisman, and he'll send someone right away to assist you. He says that, of course, however, he says because the distance between Althvinhaim and Kestriel is great, it may take, he thinks, like maybe a few minutes, so try not to use it if you need the help within like a second or two.
Minutes, damn. Who the fuck got strapped? Damn. Okay, Maroth nods, not really questioning the fact that the minutes, because that honestly just seems in line for what the fuck he is.
Yeah, you nod. He says, and lastly, I'd like to make a request of you before you leave.
Maroth nods again.
He explains, well, you see, since you're going to be heading to Kestriel, I assume you'll be taking the ships off the coast of the Jiffin River where you came in from, off that port. He looks at you and then smiles and explains as, you see, we've, recently been having to, off the, our southern forest coast, near the coast of our most important trade city, La Pari, there have been recent sightings of a certain kraken causing trouble.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
He looks at you and he looks at you and says, "While you're traveling to the Humanoid Alliance, it just might, there is a small possibility that, a guard, a certain team who may or may not be working for me may so happen to accidentally drive said Kraken possibly into, your general vicinity," he says.
Mira kind of sighed. This just almost expected to sigh, and she's like, "Okay."
He smiles and says, "Great." He says, "And of course, you can collect anything you get directly from the Kraken you can take, and you also get the magic core for defeating it. This does excite you because that means you should be able to increase your mana pool by like another 500.
Hell yeah.
He then nods and says, "That's all for now." He looks at you and asks if you have any questions.
Mira stands up, not really having one for a second before realizing she kind of looks at him with this just suspicious look, and she's like, "When did you switch out my book?"
He looks at you for a second and says, "Oh, that. Yeah." He says,
Yeah.
"When did I switch it out?" He looks at you and says, "Oh, that's simple. Yesterday."
Maroth has that wide-eyed rivulet look. He just says, "Okay." I like this guy. I like this guy. I like that I'm working for him now. I'm glad. Okay, like, this might change down the line, but I'm glad of all supreme entities that could have possibly, like, gotten to me first. It was this guy.
Yeah. No, they're gonna meet up. Like, you're gonna meet up with Dread, and he's gonna like threaten you or something, and she's gonna be like, I will dial this number, and your ass will be grass."
Maroth's like, "I'm gonna tell my dad, bitch."
I'm gonna tell my dad.
I'm gonna tell on you, motherfucker.
I'm gonna tell on you.
Don't fuck with me. You may be a fucking president, but what's a president to a fucking yeah. Yeah. Maroth picks up the talisman again and puts it back where it was latched onto on her hip.
Yeah, you feel it magically attaching to your hip again. He says, he then once again thanks you for your cooperating with him, and says that he hopes that your efforts will help greatly benefit the Zirconian Empire. You're basically a pseudo-imperialist at this point. Let's be real.
I'm a what?
You're basically a pseudo-imperialist at this point.
Fuck yeah, I'm a pseudo-imperialist. Take that, Dread. Bitch. Dread, if you're watching this, I'm gonna fucking surpass your ass, bitch. No.
Zarkon dies and Birb becomes the new emperor of Zirconia. Empress of Zirconia.
Oh no! So first of all, fuck them priests in the rain, fuck their shoes, fuck their whack-ass hair, fuck the horses they came in on, fuck them.
I know you want to fuck the horses, but...
Not the horses, just the priests. Maybe on the horse, but you know.
Maybe on the horse. Hey, little bestiality never hurt anyone. Except for Mr. Hands, of course.
No, we do not talk about Mr. Hands. We don't talk about Mr. No.
talk about Mr. Hand? why don't we want to talk about Mr. Hands, Birb?
I mean, do I really need to say why?
What's so bad about it? Man had a goal and he achieved it.
I guess he had a hole too, so
Yes, sir.
can't argue with that, can
Exactly.
I? Anyway, yeah. If Maroth is kind of like, is that all?
He nods and says, unless you have any other questions, yes.
Maroth shakes her head. There really isn't. There isn't much else she has to ask.
He says, alright, good.
Maroth walks out. Hopefully, yeah. Maroth walks out a little bit, still processing what she's just been asked of, but I guess she can. She'll be able to. What the fuck was that?
Don't worry about it.
Who's wrapped up in your house? God damn.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Like,
it.
why did you say it like that? What?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
On?
There's no one here.
What?
There's no one here, I promise. There's no one here, Birb. Just continue the lore.
Scaring me.
What do you mean? Just do the lore, Birb. There's nothing wrong.
I feel like I'm being held at gunpoint at this point. I don't.
Nothing. Everything's fine, Birb. Just keep doing the lore. There's no one in my basement. No one at all.
No, I was more worried that like you were the one who is like you know that those sounds it made me think, oh, is something happening and is Connor all right? But now I'm not nearly as surprised.
Don't worry about it.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, Maroth's gonna leave, kind of processing what she's been asked to do. It's a bit of a big task, but she thinks she can.
Done it once, do it again.
Yeah.
If you think about it, your mana pool has gotten much larger as well. So should technically have an even easier time winning.
Okay, more about noting down like, okay, like there's a possibility that it'll happen, and Maroth's like, okay, it's a possibility, so I'm gonna be prepared. But I'm saying more like recording in the Humanoid Alliance, because that is a little, that's more of a guaranteed thing that's gonna happen.
You don't say.
Let me just... Maroth sighs, making her way back out of the castle.
Heading down to the throne room, down the staircase, and out the door, you once again find your way out of the throne room. Now outside the castle,
And,
outside the castle again.
Yeah, didn't Lila say she was was she gonna wait around at the training
She said
grounds,
she'd wait,
or?
yeah.
Yeah, Maroth, realizing she's been gone a little bit longer than she, well, maybe just the amount of time she anticipated, kinda, she, more hastily goes back to the, training grounds, because she doesn't want to keep, Lila waiting up.
You hastily return to the training grounds, eventually arrive where Lila's waiting out the front. She seems to just be reading a book, and when she sees you, she waves to you. She looks at you, still pretty confused, and asks what that was about.
Maroth, unsure of really how to put this. She just kind of admits, I was requested to do something during our next trip.
Lila seems intrigued and asks, "Can you tell me? Is it possible for you to tell me what exactly?"
Maroth, taking the slightly safer route, is like, I don't know if I'm allowed.
Lila sighs, understanding, like, you're not allowed to, and asks if there's anything that she or the others can do to help.
Maroth, Huff's kinda thinking and just... No, it's not really a difficult thing.
Lila understands. She says, "Well, if you do ever need my help with whatever this is, just let me know, okay?"
Maroth, nods. Okay.
Lila then asks, "Oh, by the way, who have you been meeting with? You never really told us who exactly has been doing all these things."
Maroth, a little bit surprised, is like, someone kind of... Oh god, I'm trying to think of the word. Representative of the court.
Yeah. Representative of the court.
You could say that, Connor.
Yeah. You tell Lila that it's representative of the court. That's definitely who he is. Lila asks, "Do you know what's his name?"
Maroth looks a little bit surprised, but
Well, surprise is a very
it's more
normal
of
question to ask.
Like she didn't think in that moment it would be asked.
What do you
Maroth's
mean?
like,
You just came back from visiting said person, right?
Oh. Listen, we do a little sillying.
Story of your life.
Maroth says, he can't really tell me that.
She asks why.
Maroth shrugs and he's like, I don't know. Is the rules?
She says that there's no council members of the court that are like hiding their identity. She says it shouldn't be a problem for you to tell her. Getting a bit more suspicious.
Maroth is just like, I don't know. I don't think it was a member, just a person representing them.
Yeah. Lila starts squinting at you. She looks at you and says, "I know you're lying, but I suppose you're not going to tell me even if I ask harder."
Maroth's just like, no.
The most pouty, little moody, little gremlin.
Stop. It's not as moody as it is just like It's not really moody, it's more like just kind of like, no, I can't.
She asks, she says, "So you are lying?"
Maroth's like, yeah, a little.
Lila sighs and says, "Well, I know for a fact that you can say his name, you're just choosing not to, but I suppose I suppose you have your reasons for not telling me."
Maroth nods.
She says, "Fine, but eventually you're gonna have to tell us who it is." He says, "Well, like pulling her cheek."
No.
Lila looks at you and says, "Stop acting like a child."
She is a child.
No, she's not technically.
Well, yeah, but she is and she isn't.
She's just you, so a child, but also not a child. She pulls in your other cheek as well, telling you that to saying that you promise you'll tell them eventually.
I'll see if I can.
Satisfied with that answer, Lila lets go of your cheeks and says, "You better." She says, "Or else I'm gonna stop taking the vegetables from you."
No.
Maroth gets a little soppy eyes, like, yo. Lila smirks at you and says that smirks at you and then says, "Well, we better go meet up with the others. It's starting to get a bit late. It's around 4.
Maroth nods.
That then walks her away. Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Lila walk over to the Adventurers Guild, and decide to head inside to look for the others. Anyways, yeah. So you enter the tavern.
Are any of the party waiting there, or?
You find the others waiting at a table, and they wave over to you. You walk over and Lila asks how the day's been, how the day was, and they told them that they had talked with the Adventurers Guild about a trip to the Humanoid Alliance, and they said that there is a ship leaving tomorrow, around at noon, and so that's when they're gonna leave. And they took on a few simple C rank quests, take out some monsters, and got them a bit of money so they could, because they've been spending money, so might as well make a bit of it back. Lila says that's great, and both sit down. They then ask, Rowan then asks you how your day has been.
Maroth, it's like, well, I, kinda got called back to the, court again.
They look at you confused and ask, for what reason?
Maroth, kinda...
Lila sits there, Lila sits there eyeing you menacingly.
She's praying that they're not gonna ask all the same questions that she did. They want me to do something since we're going to, the Humanoid Alliance. They, want me to do something there.
And Cody asks, what exactly is this something?
Can't say. Not allowed.
Like, you didn't ask Zarkon at all if you could or couldn't say. You just decided that not to.
She didn't ask. And at this point, it's too late to really ask that.
You have the talisman.
She's not gonna whip it out in front of them and ask.
And just email Zarkon, like, hey.
If I told anyone about this, would I be executed in public?
Not really. What are they gonna? How would they execute you?
No.
Huh?
I don't know. She doesn't know how the fucking judicial system works.
It's an absolutist monarchy with Zarkon in charge. She's literally endorsed by the most powerful person in the entire continent.
You know. Listen, you know my reasoning is wild.
Yeah, I'm aware. I've seen your preferences. What?
uh,
Match was bad. Anyways, yeah. So you say you can't tell, and they assume it's some important government. Jade then asked you who exactly is giving you these orders.
Maroth was like, just. Can I tell you guys later?
Lila looks at them and says, "I tried to ask her that as well, and she said the same thing. Not before lying to me, of course." The others nod and say, "All right, sure." You managed to settle their question. You managed to calm their questions for now. But seeing as you travel with these people like all the time now, you can't avoid it for much longer.
Yeah, that's why she said to tell them later. She at least doesn't want to say it in public.
Fair. Afterwards, so Rowan then goes over his plan again. So, okay, so the ship will leave from the Jiven River at noon. Takes us a bit to get to the Jiven River, so we should probably leave on a carriage around 10 to be safe. We'll arrive at the Jiven River at the port, then we'll take the ship. It'll go around the southern forest, over the open ocean, and then we should arrive on the, let me look at the map of the Human Alliance. Boop, bop, dip, blip, flop. He says that we're gonna go through the, said the plan is to go through the, open waters. Yeah, and then he says that, unfortunately, he said they're going to have to go around. He says that the trip is going to take a while because they have to go around the Dragon Island. Rowan explains to you how, technically speaking, it would be faster to go through the Hell's Strait into the. But he explains that the shorter path would be through the Hell's Strait, through the Dragon River, and then arriving at the northeastern city of Castriel called Ostra City. However, he explains that you can imagine that going through a place called Hell's Strait probably isn't the safest idea.
Yep.
So he he explains that because of that, they're going to have to go up north around the northern parts of Castriel, around into the Humanoid Sea, and then they'll arrive at the city of Vinley City on the northwestern part of the Humanoid Alliance. He says that the trip from to give an idea, the trip from Akron to Dalhaven, he said, as an example, took a day and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said this trip will probably take us, he says. Yeah. He says this trip will probably take us around 4 days, he says.
Okay. I'm assuming that's like time that'll allow Dread to catch up.
Probably.
That time. Okay.
Yeah, actually, no, I'll make it harder for him. I mean, I have to be realistic with the times. So 4 days. His next session is going to have to blitz through a lot of days, so I'll tell him that.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah. So, he explains that to you, and, yeah. Everyone seems to understand, and he says, so everyone wants everyone up by 10 tomorrow, around 9 tomorrow, so they can eat breakfast, get prepared, and then head out.
Okay.
And then I'll decide. That's around. For this point, it's around like 4:30. And so they since you haven't really done much, they are intrigued. Everyone's kind of wondering what to do next, since there's not much.
Hmm.
You're not really quite sure of what to do, and neither are the others. They think about it, but can't really come up with anything. They figure that
Hmm.
they'll just spend the rest of the time independently, they suppose.
That's true.
Since you guys have been moving around together like the past few days.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Deciding that that's the best course of action, you all head out of the Adventurers Guild with a bit more money, and head on over back to the tavern. Once you reach the tavern, once you reach the tavern, everyone at the front of the tavern, Jade says she's going to visit the marketplace and look for some visit the Artisans Guild and shop for some more potions. Her voice seeming more chirpier than it normally is when she says it.
Aww.
Cody and Rowan said they're gonna head back over the training field. Said that they're feeling a bit better and think they might be able to get a few more hours in.
Hmm.
And then Lila says that she wants to go explore the marketplace and see if there's anything interesting she can find. She says that basically marketplaces are usually the place you can find the best kind of random garbage and shit that you wouldn't find in a normal establishment.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Um.
You can either tag along with one of them or just, I don't know, do something else.
Hmm. I think I will tag along with Lila. That just sounds the most interesting thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You decide to tag along with Lila to explore the marketplace. Okay, so yes, yeah, you decide to tag along with Lila, and eventually arrive at the marketplace. Lila asks you if there's anything in particular you'd like to interested in buying while here, since she's just kind of gonna be looking around for the most part.
Maroth is gonna mostly be looking around, seeing if there's anything that catches her eye that she might not be able to really get, uh, or at least find anywhere else.
You and Lila begin walking through the marketplace, and after passing what feels like the food section, you enter a more contemporary area of the marketplace. Lila looks around this bustling marketplace. Again, you're constantly walking in between people, and she eventually comes across this little jewelry stand.
Oh.
She goes up to it and inspects the items. She looks through them and eventually finds these pretty set of earrings. They look like they're made out of like a white, almost like pearl colored outline with little gold gems and like emeralds on like the corners. She kind of holds them out to you and puts them like next to her ears and asks you how they look. How they would look, I should say.
Um, Meowth kind of looks. She thinks about it for a second and I don't know why I struggled with getting any words out there for a second. Jesus.
Maroth was too busy being a dumb lesbian.
uh, they look really pretty on you.
Lila smiles and says, "You think so?" She then purchases them, and also purchases another bracelet while she's at it. It was a simple one, nothing really fancy about it. You continue
Pretty.
walking through this section, and eventually you come across a few clothing stores, in which Lila asked if you wanted to buy anything from them.
What kind of uh clothes do they have? Is it
And non-specific kinds.
mm hmm. I suppose that for now there isn't really much else that she is too interested in. Honestly, she kind of likes the clothes she has right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she does like just uh she does like looking at them, thinking about like when would she actually wear any of these. They don't they probably don't fit her taste as a human, and they don't fit her taste now.
Mm-hmm. You decide not to buy anything from the clothing shop and continue walking with Lila. You walk for a while, enjoying Lila's presence as she bounces between shops, looking through objects, both accessories, clothes, magic items, etc. You eventually stop by a magic area, and she asks if there's anything you'd be interested in regarding magic, maybe accessories or catalysts or whatnot.
Um. Hmm. Uh. Maroth kind of looks at her. Well, you know more about it, so what would you suggest?
She looks at you and says it's really up to you if you want to buy a catalyst, because they're rather expensive, but they can be really useful because, they give you a third element.
Maroth's already juggling two. At the moment, I don't think she's gonna maybe not a catalyst, but uh I guess it would be good to look around and see if there's anything that'll help, especially with what could possibly happen during their trip. She wants to be a little. She's already coming up with a plan to be a little more prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You decide for
So,
now that since you're already struggling between water and dark, you figure that now may not be the time to purchase a catalyst. Besides, it's expensive. You continue exploring the marketplace, but nothing particular catches your eye. After around 2.5 hours, it's around 7, and the sun's starting to set, so Lila suggests you head back home.
mm, Mirath nods.
Mm-hmm. You both head back to the inn around 7:10, and Lila says that she's gonna go try on her new things and then probably read a book before she goes to bed.
Okay.
She
Good
wishes
night.
she wishes you good night, yeah, and heads into her room. And you return to yours.
Once Mirath gets to her room, she looks. She unlatches the talisman and looks down at it, deciding that the best thing to test it out and make sure it works is she taps on its center and kind of thinks, would I be allowed to tell anyone about what my current objectives are during our trip and who is uh requesting it of me? And she almost thinks in parentheses, i.e. you.
You send the message through your mind, and suddenly, and after a few minutes, you get a response from Zarkon. It says, if you want to tell other people about your about this, you're more than welcome to. He says. He says, I don't particularly mind. And I'm sure you understand both the merits and demerits of doing such a thing. He says that if you wish to inform others, perhaps close friends, regarding this, I won't stop you, nor will I punish you for it.
Maroth, sighs. Very relieved that, she doesn't have to hide it. And she sends a little bit of a, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You send the message. Zarkon replies with a no problem. Feels odd, you admit to yourself, having such a casual conversation with the Emperor.
It's like basically texting.
Yeah, no it is. Doesn't mean it doesn't feel odd to you, though.
Then that makes it even more odd, because, like, of all the things that feel out of place, it's this. Something that she used to do in her everyday life.
Yeah. With confirmation from Zarkon, you know that you can now tell your friends about, you know, him.
Okay. Yeah. And, how... And, Cody, I can't remember if it was Cody or Rowan who said it, but, they said we should leave by 10 or we should be awake at 10.
Leave by 10.
Okay. And what time is it currently?
10 tomorrow.
No, I mean, what time is it now?
Oh, like 7:45?
Okay. Maroth is gonna, she's gonna go to bed, a little earlier to guarantee she gets that, 12 hours of rest. In case tomorrow is the day that shit goes down.
Yeah. Okay. I need to go shower and then do work, so I think we should probably end it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Then we can, next session,
That was
we
a
can
good session.
do the trip, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can probably catch up a little bit more with Dread
Yeah.
since we're not gonna be.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
record
Okay.
there.